There are moments in human history when time itself seems to pause, when silence holds its breath, waiting for a voice that can bridge worlds. In the year 1893, in the heart of Chicago, such a voice rose. A young monk from a faraway land, his eyes bright with stillness, his presence both humble and powerful. His name was Swami Vivekananda. He had crossed oceans, not to conquer, not to convert, but to remind a divided world that beneath all differences, there is one light, the light of the eternal. It was September 11th. The world's parliament of religions had gathered representatives from every faith under one vast roof. The hall shimmered with expectation, bishops in their robes, scholars with notes, journalists ready to write history. And somewhere among them a saffron-clad monk waited silently. He had no printed speech, no notes, only the pulse of truth within. When his name was called, the murmurs grew. Few knew this man, and yet as he stepped onto the stage, a strange calm filled the air, as though the spirit of the East itself had walked into the West. He looked across thousands of faces, unfamiliar, curious, skeptical. He closed his eyes, folded his hands, and then, with a voice that carried both thunder and tenderness, he began. For 6 simple words, the world stopped. The audience, shocked for a heartbeat, then rose to their feet. Applause thundered through the great hall like a storm breaking after years of drought. They did not know why they stood, but their hearts knew. They had been recognized not as strangers, but as kin. That single phrase dissolved centuries of separation. It was not a greeting, it was a revelation. In those words, East and West embraced. He spoke as if every human soul were a note in one grand symphony of creation. He saw no Christian, no Hindu, no Jew, only children of the same infinite being. I thank you, he said, his voice steady. In the name of the most ancient order of monks in the world, I thank you in the name of the mother of religions, and I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. Vivekananda did not preach. He reminded. He did not seek to add another religion to the world. He sought to show that all are but pathways to the same mountain peak. A hush fell again, the kind of silence that follows truth. In that hall, dogmas began to melt. He was not speaking to the ears of the crowd, he was speaking to the soul of humanity itself. Few knew the journey that had brought him there, the hunger, the wandering, the nights under open skies. He had walked barefoot across India, seen poverty, devotion, despair, and divine courage. The fire of compassion within him had no boundary. That fire was now shaped into words of peace. He was not there to impress the West. He was there to awaken it. In that moment he offered not doctrine but vision, a vision where the Christian and the Hindu, the Muslim and the Buddhist could see each other not as rivals in faith, but as reflections of the same divine whole. He told them that truth is not property, it is experience, and that the purpose of every religion is not to create walls, but to open doors. The present convention, he said, is in itself the most august assembly ever held, for it marks the beginning of a new era. His words were both prophecy and prayer. He was not merely addressing an audience, and he was addressing the centuries to come. Every syllable carried the calm of meditation and the certainty of the awakened. His message was not against any faith. It was the rediscovery of unity within all faiths. From that day, the echo of his words began to travel, from the shores of Lake Michigan to the monasteries of India, from hearts burdened with doubt to seekers yearning for light. The speech that awakened the West, Swami Vivekananda, 1893, echoes of the eternal. Before he stood upon the grand stage of the West, before the applause and the recognition, there was a boy named Narendranath Datta, a seeker who wrestled with doubt and fire. He was not born enlightened. He questioned everything: God, faith, destiny, even his own purpose. His mother called him a storm. His friends called him a genius. But within him lived a voice that never slept. He wandered through scriptures and philosophies, through logic and prayer, but none could quench the fire within him. Until one day he met a simple man, a mystic who spoke not of heaven or hell, but of love. In the stillness of Dakshineswar temple, under the whispering trees and the glow of oil lamps, Ramakrishna looked into the young seeker's eyes and said, "My child, you have the eyes of a lion, but you are looking for God outside yourself. Close your eyes. He lives within you." I asked him once, "Have you seen God?" He said, "Yes, I see him more clearly than I see you." And in that truth, my restless heart found its anchor. For years he stayed by his master's side, not as a disciple of dogma, but as a student of truth. He saw the divine not in temples but in the eyes of the poor, in the tears of the hungry, in the laughter of children. Ramakrishna's words sank deep into his soul. Serve man as God, for there is no other God. When his master left the world, Narendra was shattered, like a sky suddenly without its sun. He roamed across India, barefoot, hungry, often sleepless. He saw the suffering of his people, the beauty and the despair, and he felt the pulse of a nation in chains. I have walked the burning sands of India, and I have seen God, in the eyes of the starving farmer, in the silence of the widow, in the courage of a mother who feeds her child with her own hunger.